Hello everyone, and welcome to another video with the best boys, GetSelious and SithScott, and this time we'll be talking about a recent demo we played in the past, hence why I'm using my past model, this game is Rusted Moss. Rusted Moss is an action platformer game. The problem with the game at the time was it was supposed to be released on a demo on Steam, but it wasn't, so the developer put it on this itch website, Itch-A-Go, and it worked out fine, so we played the game from then on. And a couple things from the game I could say is that the pixel art's really nice, and the combat's okay, but this game has a real problem when it comes to, at least one part of the core aspect is the platforming aspect.
Yeah, notice that the controls weren't as tight as they could have been.
Right.
And I think that hurts, especially for a game that's this kind of ambitious, with making it so that you have basically kind of like a grappling hook to do most of your platforming with. And so when you don't have like a good tight control with that grappling hook, it kind of makes it really difficult just to like move from location to location.
Exactly. Like, this game is like, unlike this game essentially is a twin stick shooter, so you're using the shoulder buttons for everything and you're aiming with the left stick and right stick. I end up using the pad. I don't know if anyone else, maybe it's easier to play this with keyboard, but again, that's a whole different thing. So you end up essentially like throughout like the first is the demo, so the first level you get one of the core mechanics, the grapple hook, the little sticky thing with your little puck friend to help you out. And the problem with that is that it's very precise and very difficult to use from latching on the edges and everything else. And the best way I would compare this to is a game that we recently played and that we have good praises to guys for wish list, Hellpie. Hellpie has an air dash, a double jump, and a chain whip mechanic very similar to this game, to Rusted Moss, where that you can control where you whip and jump by throwing at it, and you can do any motion. You could as long as you use a jump, a dash, and a chain, you could freeform where you want to be where you're at. And this game is two-dimensional. All you're locked on is where you jump and how you flick yourself with the thing, and it's just insanely brutal how that works. Like, there is a tutorial level in the game where they teach you how to do all the whipping motions, and my god, that was too precise. It was so painful of it. And I remember Scott was like, is this the whole game? And we were like, no, it's not. We found out that was just a tutorial of it, and the rest of the levels of the game were just kind of somewhat easy normal jumping.
Yeah, it wasn't like... It's weird that the tutorial was the hardest part of the demo, because the rest of the levels were actually pretty, sensical with how you did jumping, or you could use the grappling hook if you wanted to. It almost became more of an option than an actual requirement to use.
Right. And another thing the game had... Oh.
And that at all. I just think that with them focusing so largely on the tutorial, the grappling hook, you think that it was going to be the whole game like that.
Nope. It's a shooty Metroidvania kind of thing. And the thing is, another thing too is, like, from a pad perspective, it just felt clunky to use. My hands weren't gripping it properly. Like, maybe later in the game, or maybe I missed a tutorial section, or I missed something, could map the button to anything. But the thing is, there's also a power up in the game where you get a double jump. And double jump was so good, I ended up like trying to use it more over than I used the grapple shot, I will call it. So that's the current like down negative sides of the game. The controls when it comes to jumping and the precision isn't that clean. It's not as responsive. It can be very difficult in situations where if you play this game, if you played platforms before, this will give you like hellscape like anger issues. Like maybe don't break your controller because controllers are insanely expensive. But But the strong part about the game is that it has a really cool lore. I do enjoy the shooting aspect when I can of it. The boss battles were very interesting, minus one of the bosses that you have to nail the perfect grapple shot, but that's part of the grapple mechanics. And I think those are like the pixel of the game is really good. I think the art direction is really nice.
Yeah, one thing I remember is actually the backgrounds are pretty dynamic and fluid, and how they're actually like slightly moving and changing. with your person as they're going through the levels, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah, definitely. That's a strength to go with it. But yeah, like if I had to fix any of it, I would probably fix how the mapping controls for the jump motion. I would probably maybe make the game a little more precise with shooting. Shooting doesn't really bother you as much because you can do charge shots and just blast all your enemies away like Mega Man. Because if you can Mega Man anything, you can Mega Man anything. So
Pretty much.
pretty much, yeah. And if I remember correctly, at the time too, I think when we played the game, the soundtrack was pretty minimalistic, but in a good way, you know. Like I heard every effect of everything that was going on, you know.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. I remember it helping with the atmosphere of just the game itself.
Yeah, I could like before the lore kicked in, I realized this was like related to like Fae slash I would say Gaelic slash Irish like mythology and stuff. There's a lot of elements of it all mixed together. I actually thought this was a post-apocalyptic like steampunk universe, but it's not. It's fantasy with elements of steampunk universe, some elements. Oh. But other than that, though, this is a Metroidvania game that I currently feel like it has a lot of things to be aspirational towards, but its strongest mechanic that they push for is the jumping and grapple, jumping, and platform mechanics. And with the fact that the double jump kind of beats most of it, and the grapple mechanics aren't generally that strong, it makes me think about maybe this needs to go back into the cooker and fix that part more precise, because otherwise this game will just have this weird clunky feeling, because again this game also has Metroidvania elements to it. You can teleport between various levels back and forward, you can go back to old places, and could you imagine if people just give up because they can't make those jumps at the right time because they know what they're doing? Like, I know I have to do jump, swing, jump, but it's like jump, swing, miss. And I felt more frustrating than fun. Because
Yeah. I do wonder how many people are gonna like try to play this game and then just quit through the tutorial because of how difficult the tutorial is compared to the rest of the game.
Exactly. And the thing is, like, in other games that have the I would say the grapple shot, the string mechanic, like Rayman, Crash Bandicoot, etc. These other games, you can control how you swing by have you played Donkey Kong or Mario, where you climb?
Yes.
You can climb the vines going up and down. I felt like you couldn't do that. It was literally you just making the guess shot of how long or how short you want your string for your grapple to be. And I felt that was a bit too mechanical. That was like, ooh, I am not the smartest man in the world right here. I am not gonna hit that like a G.
It reminded me of the old Worms Armageddon bungee cord.
Oh no! I remember those games. I would, unironically, I would always lose those games, so I would just try to suicide myself to make sure someone else doesn't win. That was my strat the whole those games.
I mean, you did have the kamikaze ability that you could just yeet your worm at another worm.
Exactly. Push come to shove, you went out like a G.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's I think that's the only core of the game I just think should be just towards it. Just the grapple. There's ways you can fix it. You can make it easier. You can make it a little more forgiving. You can add the ability to go up and down of it. And I think that's it. Otherwise, this game is a very, very, very solid Metroidvania experience. Has very interesting lore, and the sprite work is mwah, chef's kiss.
Yeah, I wonder if the reason why we didn't like the grappling is because it's just how ambitious it was trying to go with it, and then because of how big they tried to make it, it just made it the controls just weren't as tight as they should be for something like that.
Yeah.
Because overall, I think this is a pretty good game. I just wish that the grappling mechanics were a little more tighter or a little more sensical in how you use them.
Yeah, which again, this game is currently being processed. It's like the demo is out. If you can find the Rusted Moss demo, it's not on Steam, I believe, yet as of this recording. But the time we had it, it wasn't there, so you can get it through itch, through the developer's itch. So the game is still being currently processed. I'm looking forward to this game in full release, or another demo, or another update, because the demo we had is 1.0, maybe the 2.0 they made the changes. I have no idea. So
yeah, I mean, it could definitely improve, and it could already be improved, and we could just not have looked at any of the improvements.
Right.
I feel like this is definitely just knowing like the polish on it, I feel like this is probably a developer that probably wants to get everything as tight as they can. So it could just be like a prototype demo.
Right. Definitely. Oh, wait, alpha? Is that term alpha? Maybe we got it wrong. But yeah. But essentially, I'm looking for the improvements of this game. I'm looking forward to see how they fix this main control mechanic, the grapple string shot mechanic, the hook, and I think that with the improvement to this, the game will just be complete. That is the only thing I really feel holding this game back, is because for like even the die-hard platformer people, like people who play like Celestial, which is insanely hard, or Super Meat Boy, I can see themselves being frustrated at this game because like platformer is all about the control you have and how well you can use that control to traverse difficult terrains, etc., etc. Like that's one of the reasons why, like, during our playthrough of another game we played recently, Hell Pies on our YouTube channel, I was like flabbergasted how much fun I was having because I was zooming on everything. You could air dash it, just air dash. You could swing it, you could swing it. You know, it still was difficult getting to the platforms and finding the items and not getting killed. I mean, I died a couple of times in that demo. I got hit, but I felt like it was more me not solving the puzzle correctly, versus it wasn't just me not being mechanically skilled, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. It definitely felt like, I guess in contrast to Hell Pie, that Hell Pie had a lot more freedom of what you're able to do with what they give you, whereas this one feels a little more constricting with what you're able to do or what you should be able to do.
Right.
Just based on their like platforming puzzles being so indicated based on the grapple hook itself.
Right, and you have to hit the perfect angle at the perfect shot, and I felt that was a bit conundrum because again, this game, at least with the pad situation, you had to use the shoulder buttons and rusted moss, and you had to like hit a certain angle. It felt like it was like precise jumping and actual precision was insane. And you guys are probably seeing right now, like myself failing like a bazillion times just trying to hit this one jump because I had to hit the right angle because I was trying to follow the loop, the parallelia, the little orange line saying curve this way, curve that way, and that happens throughout this tutorial area. And there's even a boss fight in the game where if you don't hit the perfect jump, you just lose the boss automatically, which I think was not particularly the most fun. But yeah, that's the only thing I would fix this game. Just make the hook shot a little more convenient. Make it like you could climb up the string, climb down the string. Make it you can control yourself how you shoot. Maybe adjust how the button is mapped. Because sometimes just switching to a different button may make it better. You know, like I know that in Scott's case, he plays a lot of RPGs. He must be noticed all the time. If he plays a particular Japanese RPG, the foremost right button, which could be located as O or B in most controllers, is the cancel button. But in some games, that's the OK button. But by mapping the OK button to the bottom button, A or X, makes a whole bunch of a big difference.
Yep. As someone who played both the Japanese Kingdom Hearts and the English one, that is exactly how that works.
Exactly. Anyway, this is GetSelious and SithScott signing out on Rusted Moss. Please give the game a try. Do not, again, berate the developers. This game is currently in alpha. This game has definitely a lot of potential to move forward, and we're looking forward to see how far the game moves on in this next production cycle, or if there's a demo that comes out. I
agree. I really hope to see if it can hold its ambition.
Yeah. And I also hope that they give me more guns. So far, I think we only unlocked a pistol, a rifle. I'm looking for a shotgun. Give me a shotgun. Yes. Anyway, this is GetSelious and SithScott signing out. Check out Rusted Moss if a chance. We'll put the itch or the link to the demo into the description, and we'll see you guys in the next one. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video as well, and share it amongst your friends, and follow us on social media, which is linked below in the description. Have a good one.
See ya.